Good morning. Anybody who lives in East Belfast will recognise exactly where I am. Going this way from Park Avenue through this tunnel, and the tunnel goes under the dual carriageway and the railway track. It's Tuesday the 16th of February. It's coming up to 8 o'clock and the temperature is about 7. It's quite windy, so I mightn't talk that much on the way around the park. I'll give you a view of what is going on up ahead here. Overhead, I mean. There's Harvard Roof, big cranes, and this is the extremely busy Bangor to Belfast dual carriageway. The park is over there. There's traffic coming in from Bangor, and that is the Con River heading out to Belfast Lock. It's a tidal river. It will fill up. It is a mecca for wildlife. I think that's the oval football pitch. And these are the streets of Sydenham. Keep the camera running most of the way around Victoria Park to give you a remembrance of what it was like. Anybody living abroad. Very narrow little entrance coming in, and you've got to watch your feet, because there's massive puddles. But this is Victoria Park, and it has been a lifeline really for the residents of East Belfast, the shipyard workers. There's back up the other side, the shipyard workers over the years. And obviously I'll put the camera down whenever people are approaching, because I don't want to be intrusive. Well, here's the map of the park. And the big attraction of Victoria Park was that it had a big lake in it, and it still has. And the lake has a couple of small islands, and it has a major island. This is where you park your car, and this is the various amenities. It's exactly 1 mile round the park. This pathway here. I'll go the other direction. Number 11 there is the new Thompson Bridge, which is a great asset because it links you to other parts of Belfast via the Airport Road, D Street and all the rest of it. 7 football pitches. And I'm not sure whether that area over there was the old swimming pool, but there was an old swimming pool here. I'm not absolutely sure where. This whole area in here was a boating lake as well. The swimming pool was in operation in the 1950s. Many people can still remember that. So let's go. Belfast City Council have done wonders for this place. It's all been refurbished with good tarmac walkways. Very, very popular amenity. Lifeline, as I said, over the years, the decades, for the people of East Belfast. Worked in the shipyards, and at weekends, whenever they were off, they could come over to dander over to Victoria Park and get a bit of leisure time, play a game of football, go for a swim, go for into the boating lake. Great place for courting couples. Great place for families. The dual carriageway and railway track over here, and Harland Roof big cranes over here, and the George Best City Airport just over the top of those trees there. Might be lucky enough to see a plane landing or taking off. The park was obviously named after Queen Victoria. And it was talked about for decades before it was actually opened. It was opened in 1906. Goliath, the big crane, was built in 1969, and it's 96 feet high, and Thompson, don't know which is which actually, Thompson was built in 1974, Harland Roof responsible for that, and it is 106 feet high. So the park links up the Conswater Community Greenaway, which is absolutely fabulous. It runs down from Orangefield Park and beyond. You are here. Well, it says Goliath is the far one, yeah, and Samson's the near one. Okay, many a one has stood at these railings and fed the ducks, fed the swans, fed the seagulls, and there's an egret over there. There's one of the small islands. You can go across the bridge there actually, which those people are doing, and you can do the inner walk. I might, if I have my time, I'll do that. Stay away. It's a wee bit on the windy side. The park was opened in 1906, and it was landscaped by a guy called Charles McKim, who also was responsible for the tropical ravine in Botanic Gardens. It was linked to, oh yes, there's the swans. It was linked to Belfast City, which actually is within easy walking distance, but it was linked by rail, obviously, and they had a rail stop here, the Victoria Park station. There's a wee moorhen. And the Victoria Park station halt was there 1905 to 1988, and then it was removed. You get off at Sydenham now and walk. There's a shell duck. Lovely coloured duck. A wee robin. Robins follow you the whole way around here. Yeah, there was a halt, but that was closed, as I say, and Sydenham serves this. Used by an awful lot of joggers, walkers, family groups, with the play park. And there's a BMX track, well, sort of BMX track further around here. Morning. Don't see any herons this morning. Normally you get, you know, nearly a couple of dozen herons sitting around, but none this morning, funny enough. It's a play park. Oh, it's well used. Good amenity. I'm hoping my video will last out my battery. This has all been redone, oh, about 5 years ago, maybe longer. And we're just coming up to the wee BMX track. And many a parent has pushed off a child to fly down this wee track. We did it ourselves. And the crocus is making an appearance there. Daffodils yet to flower, but coming along. Well, these outdoor gym facilities have gone up around the park. Wee chaffinch in the tree there. And over here is the boatyard. And climb up and let you see the outer path. A wee bit mucky, mind you, but the things I do for you. Not as mucky as it has been. Yeah. This is all tidal, so it looks quite grim at the minute. Just over the back of that shed is the boatyard. And this is a wonderful wildlife amenity. There's a couple of curlew down in here. Yeah, they are curlew. Quite a big bird. Big long bills. But I follow the other path, and if I've got time, or I might come back again and video the other path, which is actually worth doing a video on its own. But you just can't do everything at the minute. Harlan roof cranes dominating everything. I just think back over the decades, the literally millions of people who have used this park facility. A wildlife haven in the middle of East Belfast. It was highly industrialised in the 30s and 40s and 50s. So this would have been a great amenity for people to get away from it all, because people didn't have cars and didn't go to the seaside or hardly anything. Hadn't got the money. And I saw the kingfisher about here. Just on that far bank. Don't see any sign of it this morning, but it's hard to spot. I was able to video it the last time, thankfully. And because of the Thompson Bridge and the Greenaway, people are using this as a cycle path to get into the city centre, which is absolutely brilliant. More cars off the road, people getting exercise, and it's just so safe. Nanny as a child comes here with their parents to learn how to cycle. The park is beside the Con River and the Con Basin, and that's fed by the Loop and the Knock Rivers. And nest building will commence very shortly. Plenty of blackbirds about. There's grey squirrels up in these trees. I've seen them many a time. The water's quite clear actually today. Sometimes it can get very murky and full of algae. We had our grandchild here about a month ago, and she held out her hand to the swan, and it thought she had bread, and it didn't bite her on the hand, but it made its presence known. Wanted grub. This is a coot. Wee robins bouncing about in front of me. And it's unfortunate that these Harland Wolf cranes are largely museum pieces. They don't get that much work, and they should do. Although they are used a bit, but you know, for being almost the largest load-bearing and height-wise cranes in the world at one time, you know, their use is minimal. Well, all this is marked off for you if you're into the jogging or cycling. The 1 mile circuit of Victoria Park. A couple of grey-leg geese down here. This is a willow tunnel, and in summertime it looks really, really well. Completely closed in. I'll show you where we are. Across the road here, across the Con River Channel, is the airport road, and that skirts the edge of well, it's not Belfast Lough, is it? Aye, it would be. Well, it's near enough. So here's where we are. I looked down the other end of that. And those are, I think there's, well, they're Sunderland flying boats. Might be a Catalina, and amongst them, they're used in the Second World War. And they were produced by Shorts. Not too sure what those are. I think they're lapwing. So that's over to the airport road. I would be on the airport road quite a bit. And that's Shorts, or what was Short Brothers in Harland, plane producers. They produced wings and still do for various planes. I think it's some sort of Airbus, I'm not sure. Stretches way up there. There's all the bump about it. That's Knockle Monument over in North Belfast. Back onto the main path again. Morning. There are literally a couple of hundred of grey-lag geese around at the other side, but they had to be culled because they were afraid. The airport authorities at George Best City were afraid that these greylags, as they flew about for their roosts, to and from their roosts, would be sucked into the engines of the airplanes. So they had to be culled. I think that they took they did this humanely. They did it by injecting their eggs. These are tufted duck on the other side here. A nice wee flotilla, nicely marked. I'll get a close-up of them in a second. Yeah. One or two females, and amongst them the males are the black and white ones. So they're doing a bit of posing for the two females, I think, that are there. Tufted duck. There's the females. Oh, there's three females. Now I'm not sure whether that was the swimming pool or not. I don't know. So if anybody can post in and tell me, I'd be very grateful. Don't know where the greylags have disappeared to. They were here, taking themselves off. So if you did this circuit maybe 2 or 3 times a day, you know, you're well on the way to fitness. Swans looking for something to eat. People come regularly here with bags of bread and seeds, whatnot. Seeds, our bread isn't the best actually, because I have to say we noticed rats. A rat running along under the hedge here. A couple more tufted, male and a female. Shorts again through the trees. It says do not feed the birds. That's is that a Canada or a barnacle or a Canada goose? I'm not too sure on the illustration. I got my geese mixed up. I filmed dab chicken here, which are the wee grebes, but haven't seen any of them today. I remember filming about 17 of them, just in there. Maybe I'll see them further around, but they're not here this morning. There's your grey leg in there. Grey leg geese. Notice these people passing me there about 10-15 minutes ago. Now this is their second circuit, and they're going a dinger there. Morning. We're just approaching the Thompson Bridge, which is a brilliant amenity. Superb. There's a rainbow. Show you this tubular type construction for bicycles and foot walkers. This is in honour of Sam Thompson, playwright from Ballymacarrat. Well, it looks quite grotty actually at the minute. The con. But having said that, you know, it has been well cleaned up, and there's kingfisher, and some people have spotted otter up the con. Tides in, you know, it goes right up to the top of the reeds there. You can see where it's going. So, Thompson Bridge. With a rainbow. Not nice. And the outer walkway goes on round there. Maybe I'll do that some other day, I don't know. What does it say? Victoria Park was named after Queen Victoria, the British monarch who reigned for 64 years and who died in 1901. Victoria is commonly found in place names around the world. Isn't that the truth? And there's the Harrier jump jet. I don't know why the RAF isn't still hanging on to those. They're all sold cheaply off to America, would you believe? The Harrier, one of the best small aircraft, fighter type aircraft the world has ever seen, and they're all sold off for these Eurofighters, which are impractical and very expensive. Anyway, rant. wee blue tit. There he goes. Here's a big swan coming. On your boy, eh? Showing who's boss. Coming around the back end towards the entrance of the park where I came in. And we have had a remarkable change in our weather and temperature over the last day or two. Unbelievable. From being around about 1 or 2 degrees centigrade, we're up in 7, 8 and 9, which is absolutely fabulous. There's a wee flotilla of mallard. Very, very common European duck. Nicely coloured. The male, very nicely coloured. It's interesting in that in the world of nature, the males are all gaudy, colourful, while the females are pretty boring. Wonder why that is. The males have to show off to attract the females. There's a red shank just away flying up the river there. Or not the river, but the waterway. Birdlife here is almost tame. You know, it just doesn't bother. You know nobody's going to harm it. Is this couple, this mother and child coming again? That's 3 laps. And that's the upper walkway there, overlooking the dual carriageway, and I'm not going to go up there this time. Morning. Wee dog. A wee robin. Very, very tame. And this is where I come in. And this is where I'll leave it for this morning. And the rainbow is still there, isn't that nice? I can sing a rainbow, eh? Red and yellow and pink and green. Morning. It's funny the way people react to me with the video camera. They probably think I'm some sort of freak. I don't care. I used to do a lot of jogging. I wish I hadn't, because that's why I needed a hip replacement, I reckon. Well, the tennis and the badminton and the table tennis and the squash didn't help either. But the picnic areas dotted around the place too. And we're back to the car park. I'll go up onto the bridge to let you see that. Morning. Let's see if there's any more info here. Ah, there is. Map of Belfast dating from 1850. Belfast was relatively small actually, and Irish late Mesolithic stone tools dating from 5000 BC. You know, that's pre-pyramids. Oh, do I hear? No, I don't. I think that's Dundela Parish Church. Not too sure. Is that the one Van Morrison went to? I'm not too sure. High rivers and seas, and the sea has shaped Belfast. Let's go down that. The name Belfast comes from Bell First, mouth, and first means sandy ford. The sandy bank stretched its way right across the mouth of the River Lagan, and that's where Belfast has grown up. And there's park runs take place here. I think it's every Sunday morning, or Saturday morning, I'm not too sure. My friend Chris does them. I think he does maybe the Ormo one. I'm sure this view is remembered by many. There's a grey lag goose there. I'm sure this view is remembered by any. This is a new bridge, of course. And there's the entrance to the football pitches, but there is a walk right round there too. So Victoria Park, February 2021. I wonder what it'll look like in another 50 years. And this car park will fill up. During this lockdown especially, people have been crying out to get out there because it's driving people daft. Get a bit of exercise, get a bit of fresh air on your face, and not be huddling behind the sofa, as Mr. Swan would want us to do. Man, I could go into a rant and not start on him. Right, I'm heading home. And here they come again. I'm sorry I didn't get one of the George Best City Airport planes taking off, because they take off and they fly low actually over this island here, but maybe another day. That wee one, the child's really doing well. Wish I could run as fast as that. Wish I could run.